Hello guys, new day of a war and new update. For the last couple of days the main focus of Russian attacks is on Soledar. After unsuccessful attempts to capture Bakhmut, Russian generals changed their tactic and concentrated their main forces on a small town to the north from Bakhmut. Let me show you how this new attempt look on a map. Assault began in the first days of January when Russian mercenaries, mostly convicted criminals, launched their flank attack on Ukrainian positions. As main Ukrainian contingent on those region were located in Bakhmut, Russian assault gained initial success and Ukrainian first line of defense fall down. To avoid being surrounded, Ukrainian soldiers were forced to withdraw to the following lines of defense. From that moment the fighting approached the residential areas of the city. It doesn't mean that before that moment Soledar streets were safe. Artillery shelling of the town has not stopped for months. But now the fighting has turned from long-range shelling to heavy battles in urban areas. This means that the war is literally going on for every single house. Initial momentum helped Russia to capture half of a city in 3 days. But after Ukrainian reinforcements came to Soledar, the situation leveled off and the defenders even managed to dislodge the enemy from some areas. After that, Russia, seeing the mercenaries' inability to take full control of the city, began to send regular troops to reinforce the mercenaries. The situation in the city has remained very tense for the past few days, and I want to bow to the courage of the soldiers of the 46th and 128th Brigades, who at this moment are doing the impossible and firmly repelling the attacks of an outnumbered enemy. One of those soldiers wrote about Russian tactics in a current assault. Let me read his message.
The first group, usually consisting of 8 people, moves to the line. The whole group is maximally loaded with ammunition, each has a flamethrower. Their task is to reach the position and gain a foothold. They are almost suicide bombers. In case of failure, their ammunition is intended for the following groups. Up pointing red triangle, the group gets as close to the Ukrainians as possible and buries as quickly as possible. They leave a white cloth or other sign on the tree so that the next group can be guided in case of the death of their predecessors. The second group must find where the shelters have already been dug and where there are weapons with ammunition left by the first group. Up pointing red triangle, during the fire contact, the Wagnerites detect Ukrainian firing positions and transmit the coordinates to their artillery. As a rule, they use 120 mm and 82 mm mortars. Up to 10 mortars simultaneously begin to suppress the identified Ukrainian position. Artillery fire can last for several hours in a row. Up pointing red triangle, during this time, the second group is concentrated 500 meters from the first group. It is lighter equipment, and under the cover of artillery, this group begins to storm the Ukrainian position. If the second group fails to take the position, it is followed by the third and even the fourth. That is, 4 waves of 8 people per Ukrainian position. There is a drone operator in one of the groups. He coordinates artillery fire directly from the battlefield. If they manage to suppress the Ukrainian position, they clear it using a drone, grenades, and small arms.
Along with the offensive in Soledar, Russia is also trying to seize the initiative south of Bakhmut. Putin's troops are actively storming Klishchivka. The situation also remains difficult in Pigorodny, which lies between Soledar and Bakhmut. In fact, all along the front in the Donetsk region, Russia is moving very slowly, losing hundreds of people a day, but advancing mile by mile. The question is when her forces will run out of steam, and whether Ukraine will respond to this offensive with its counterattack, which everyone expects this winter. Thank you for your attention. If you want to support the channel, the link to the Patreon is in the description. Or you can just like and comment on this video. Peace be with you all.